Hello YouTube, didn't forget to record you this time. That's 2 weeks in a row. Doing pretty well, aren't we? Doing pretty well. Let's see if we can go into hard mode, shall we? Just going to open a beer here and see if we can put ourselves onto a slightly more difficult tack this evening. Hello, Marchesny. Welcome back. Thanks for joining us. It's only £1 a bottle. It's amazing. Love the stuff. Right, where were we? Let's put this beer bottle down somewhere where it's not obstructing a camera or a screen. And we'll take a quick little look at the old fortress itself, shall we? Let's go up to the surface here. Take a little look at our gateway. There appear to be people, guests of some sort, perhaps traders, sitting in our depot, but they won't be a problem to us. That's nothing to worry about. We've got our trap array looking pretty well set and covered in vomit. Good, good. We've got our sand collecting zone re-established here, which should mean we have spinning green glass discs coming hot off the press. Well, press. Kiln. Spinner. Glazier's pipe. I don't know. I don't know how you make a green glass disc. Over here we have lots and lots of lovely food creation area, which apparently isn't particularly capable for what we want. Maybe I need to get my eggs a little bit more developed. I need to put a few more nest boxes in because we don't seem to be keeping up with demand. Neither do we seem to be keeping up with demand with cheese, which means maybe I need to allow a few more milkable creatures to survive in the fortress. Maybe I've made the auto butcher a little bit too stringent. Maybe we're cutting off the flow of lactates too quickly. From what country is this beer? Fuck knows. I don't think £1 a bottle gets you that privilege of knowing. I mean, it says English Pale Ale on the front, so presumably it's made in England. Let's have a look. Brewed and bottled in the UK. There we go. Very nice. Burton upon Trent. So if you want to acquire some £1 beer, go for it. Cheap beer. Good stuff. Anyway, where are we going? Down, down, down into the fortress. A little bit lower. A little bit deeper under the ground. This leads to probably the most multi-use level of the fortress. We've got barracks, we've got training areas, we've got vampire containment facilities. We've got soap making and everything and anything you could possibly want to do with smelting and heat-based materials. We've got a shitload of metal bars. There's not much we can do with them. I'm hoping that once we've got some adamantine armour, we'll be able to stud it with gold, but we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. Hello, Shin Guards. Welcome back. Thanks for joining us again. Just getting into the beginning here. You haven't missed much. Anyway, enough of that. Enough musing about what we will do when we have the adamantine. Let's go down a few more floors, kind of take a brief peek at this. Yeah, looking good. Press F8 and head down to where the real meat and potatoes of this stream is going on. Now, obviously, my dousing from above strategy has failed miserably. So, we need to figure out a method of improving it. Part of me thinks maybe there's some kind of mileage in digging a secondary tank to fill up above the first. Do people think that's a good idea, or? Hello, Cellarburger. Welcome to the stream. Thanks for joining us. Actually, Cellarburger, your analysis is somewhat off. Fun has not yet occurred in this fortress. I mean, yeah, okay, lowercase fun, sure. But we haven't had any uppercase fun yet on this fortress. This water is all planned and deliberately placed water, as is this magma was extant underground deep magma, but you know, this is supposed to be happening. Let me just go over what's going on. We appear to have someone new to the situation in chat, and maybe if I go over the situation with them, a solution to my problem will become apparent in that discourse. So, as you can see, we are deep under the ground at level 101, 31. I'm not entirely sure what these numbers mean, but we're on a very deep level. And if I go down just a little bit deeper, you can see that we've got a rather bountiful deposit here of adamantine. Ooh, sweet candy. The most precious of metals. Is it a metal? I'm not sure. I think it's a metal. Anyway, we've got this deposit of candy, but it's pretty surrounded by this hot magma. So the plan was to channel, in the initial stages, if we see here, a little tap off of the cave water up on the third cavern layer, possibly second, one of the cavern layers. It's got a lake, whatever. So we tap that, excuse my hiccups. We bring the water down here, we apply a system of floodgates to close it off. We throw open those floodgates, and this area here, roughly, where my mouse cursor is describing, that went from magma to obsidian. Good start. Good start. However, there wasn't enough zhuzh in the water, and it basically just sort of fizzled out at this point, and we couldn't get it to go any further. So, oh, hello. A new WebSocket connection to OBS. Heavens above. That must be the thing where people type !boo and the racist ghost haunts us. Anyway, where was I to? Well, okay, yes. So at that point, I extended the corridor around the area and applied extra floodgates. But as you can see from the resolutely red magma around this area here, they weren't very effective in turning it into obsidian. So, boo to that. Anyway, above here, 2 Z levels up at least, we have a room. You can't really see it at the moment because it's not doing anything. Let's unpause and let things transpire. This area here, where you're not seeing the depth indicators, that's all retractable drawbridges. And they go along a little spine down the middle here of the room. They're all linked up to these levers. Once the room is full, ka-chunk, a dwarf pulls the lever. The doors retract, or the drawbridges retract, I should say, and water descends from above onto the magma, in theory, turning it into obsidian and allowing us to dig out that sweet adamantine, in fact, that whole layer, and then repeat the process again going down. Sadly, that may have been the dream, but it wasn't the reality. That never happened. The gates were opened, it all went down, there was a lot of sizzling, a little bit of hopeful, whoo-ing, but it never turned out to be. It turned out to be a bit of a dud. So, my next and I think final attempt, unless someone comes up with a better idea, is going to be to, where are we going here? To dig another Z level out on this floor above this room to allow that to fill with water also. That's the dream. So, with that in mind, first we've got to get someone to flip this switch. This switch is being flipped. It is being flipped. Don't worry, everybody. Everybody calm down. There's such a panicky load of old panickers. We're then going to flip this one. Add pull now. There we go. Let's get that open. And then, of course, we're going to flip this bad boy here, which has already got a pull order on it. We're fine. We can just wait. The dwarves will deal with this in their own good time. Shingard says, can you show your barracks setup, sleep train, etc.? I'm not positive I have mine set up correctly compared to the military schedule stuff. I can show it to you in just a moment if you bear with me, but if Sal's still here, she will probably have a link to a video that will explain it better than I ever could. So maybe you'll get a treat that way. But we'll see. We'll see. Here comes a lever puller. That's fantastic. And I need to stop fannying around and get digging. So, from the staircase, which is just over here, what we need to do is dig out over this way. And I'm going to make them dig straight down to the edge of this room here. Bonkadonk. Up to there. And then we're going to come down here. We're going to say, you know what, we're going to fill the whole goddamn space. We're going to do it. We're going to do it. No fanning around, just full on doing it. We're also going to do it at priority 3. Oh, that's right. I am going absolutely fucking crazy. Priority 3 digging. Hello. Of course, we've got to do that to the actual thing that goes off there. Fantastic. Actually, while this splooshing down is all going on, while the actual gates are open and the water isn't flowing off on the upper levels, we could dig this whole tunnel here without a floodgate, couldn't we? We could do some saucy splooshing. It will need a floodgate to maintain pressure once the downstairs floodgates are open, but... Anyway, enough fanning around. Let's let them dig. Let's let the dwarves get down here, swing their picks, and have some sweet, sweet fun. It'll be good. Hello, Sergeant Indy. Welcome back. Thanks for joining us again. You missed my plug. I plugged the store. Are you still open? Because, you know, I could flip a coin in these troubled times, as they say, and we wouldn't know, would we? We wouldn't know whether there were lockdowns, lock-ups, lock-ins. Lock-ins aren't too bad. I've been on a lock-in. It was good. We walked back through the pub and loads of people had put their wallets on the table open. We didn't know why, and we were looking around. The pub was 90% police officers all sitting there having a lock-in, which was, you know, probably it was both nerve-wracking and reassuring because we were drastically underage. But hey, that's how pubs roll, eh? Anyway, where were we? I'm here. Not done the military video yet. It's on the list. It's on everybody's list, Sal. The military is one of those impenetrable mysteries of Dwarf Fortress that I don't think has yet had the definitive help provided. I've never watched a video on the military screen and gone, oh. Although there was that time you told me they had to be activated in 3 separate places. That did make me go, oh. So there was that. I've been doing a lot of experimenting and found a way to use schedules and barracks to retain stress. Interesting. You did mention that last time, actually. I'll have to delve into that a little bit. Maybe I'll give that a go. Salaberger says channel instead of dig. No, dig first, then we'll channel. Safety issues, you see. Health and safety. What we've got to do is dig, and then another Sal special. We channel every other square, and then fill the ones in the between, and then do every other square, blah blah blah, just to ensure there's always somewhere for the dwarves to stand and no one's falling multiple Z levels and dying. It's just a health and safety matter. Unlike those fools in Moria. Dear oh dear. Still open. Good. Good. Well, I mean, hopefully, unless that's something that you'd rather not do, in which case bad. Either way, best wishes. So where are we going? I managed to negotiate our lease down for the next year. That's not bad, especially if the old disease-a-rooney dissipates a bit. Especially if that all goes away, then you'll have a nice reduced rental. That'd be great. Hopefully. Fingers crossed. At least I hope I'm interpreting that correctly. Let's have a look over here. Well, fingers crossed this garbage doesn't continue and you'll just have a lovely bonus year. A bonus year doesn't sound right, does it? Just a regular year, really. But it'll feel like a bonus year if all the madness ends. It'll be good. Especially the archers. OSHA compliant? No. We have entirely different rules over here. Oh no, they're EU rules. Well, they're going to be changing. So who knows? Who knows? All I say is make a handrail. Make sure no one's just going to go blithely careening off the edge of a walkway. And that'll do, really. That's enough. That's enough. I've seen Moria. I think the one thing that would, infinitely improve safety there is just handrails. Admittedly, a decent handrail is a bit of an eyesight blocker for a dwarf, and maybe they want those huge, like, vertiginous views that you can get from the Mines of Moria, but I don't know. I'm a bit of a heights... I was going to say sissy, and then I thought, that's the wrong word. A bit of a heights fraidy cat. I would say. Don't like them. They make my tummy go all funny and my knees wobble. And you know those videos on r/sweaty palms? Well, when they're the proper VOD videos, they actually make my palms sweat. I'm not good with heights. Me and my son, well, I say me and my son, I had to crawl down the stairs when we went to a lighthouse, and I couldn't get to the top. Couldn't get to the actual second floor, to be honest. There was no handrail on the stairs there. Terrifying. Not even trying to control. Well, you know what? I mean, I don't know what's going on here. I've stopped watching. I've decided to stay indoors as much as I can and let it all blow over eventually. Or step out onto the ashes of the old world and roll up my sleeves and start helping out building a new one. Which, you know, fingers crossed, it will be better than the old one. Maybe. We'll see. Is it my audio setup or is your mic peaking? My mic may be peaking, actually. Maybe I should move it. I'm going to mute it before I move it, because otherwise you're going to be subjected to a cacophonous thudding and rumbling. So bear with me. Here's the mute. How's that? Is that sounding a little bit better? Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. She sells seashells on the seashore. Red lorry, yellow lorry. Rubber baby buggy bumpers. Better? It'll last until at least July. For sure. For sure. We're not getting out of this quickly, but you never know. You never know. People might decide, oh, enough of this, like, not really actually doing the right shit. Well, let's just do it and get rid of it. That might happen. You never know. You never know. Then again, it's people, isn't it? You can never be sure. You can never be sure. Okay, this room's coming along nice and fast. I should probably add a little switch room. Actually, this... Yeah, I will do, actually. I'm just going to dig a little bit of extra here to put a switch in to control a floodgate here. Once it's closed, probably never going to open it again. But we may as well. Actually, I could put 2 switches in and control a floodgate here as well. If I just do that. There we go. That'll get started. Good. So, what was I going to do? Ah, yes, the military screen. Someone was asking me to look at the military screen. So we're going to go up to the top here, go down to where the barracks are. There we go. So we've got top barracks and bottom barracks. In the top barracks, they're training with... Well, I mean, they're not actually doing anything of the sort. In my imagination, in my headcanon, in the top fort, they're training with swords, and they're training with silver hammers in the bottom fort. But so far, the only armour anyone is wearing is a little leather cap, I believe. That's the setup I think we've got. This armour here is all masterwork copper armour, but really, I'm not particularly interested in it. I may have to start swapping that out for different armour now, just to get a superior gear in here. Then again, I mean, steel's really the most superior stuff we have at the moment, and seeing as we're trying to get adamantine, maybe I should just leave it. Maybe I should just forget about it. I'm going to press M. We have 3 squads, the Orbs of Fame, the Ochre Locks, and the Mountain of Stasis. Orbs of Fame are our hammer boys and girls, the Ochre Locks are our swordy gang, and the Mountain of Stasis are our vampire. 1, 2, and 3. Bloodsuckers, motherfuckers. That's what they are. Excuse me. So, there's the setup there. If we go and look at the schedule, which I believe is S, we can see that I've set them to train half the year and not train the other half, and then the opposite ones doing the other inverted schedule. The Mountain of Stasis just train all the time because they're vampires and they're not going to die, and frankly, they can take it. Or if they can't, they're in a little locked off room and they're just going to be hurting each other and not everyone else, so it's fine. Right, these guys are training at 6 minimum. These guys are training at 6 minimum. That's okay, I suppose. What else can I need to tell you? Uniformed when inactive, you can see that. They're sleeping in the room at will. There's something else, isn't there? There's something I'm supposed to have done. Ah, yeah, you set them up here, and then you go to the barracks. Yes, and you turn on train and sleep and all that in the barracks, and they'll do it where they're supposed to. That was it. The ZIS, that's the one. Ah, just as I get there. So yes, Z, T, and Q, which I believe is where your equipment train in here and sleep in here. And then the Ocolox, different room, Mountain of Stasis, different room. It's all good. It's all good. So there you go. Was that what you were hoping to see, or is there more detail that I could perhaps reveal to you? Could I open up a little bit more and show you something intriguing? You're welcome. So, we're going to want to be shifting some orthoclase, and I would guess this stuff is granite, right? Damn it, granite, I love you. The river was deep, but I swam it. Granite! Sorry, got a little bit Rocky Horror there. Let's go down to the stone collection and processing area, which is here. Shall I start dealing with all this cobaltite and cinnabar? Because frankly, it's taking up a fair amount of space in this, and if I just do a quick dumping order, it'll all be gone. And they appear to have dealt with the schist. Is it just me? Is all the schist gone? They might have dealt with all the schist. No, they can't have done. We do have 6 or 7 idlers, which indicates people aren't currently involved in schist collection. Regardless, none of these items are dumped, are they, TPD? Nope. So what we're going to do is I'm going to create a new cobaltite question mark. There we go. I'm going to create a new cobaltite stockpile / dumping zone. So first of all, we go to the schist stockpile, click there and say, oh wait, no, I down to the schist stockpile and click A to deactivate it. And I come over here and I'm going to put schist there. Make it a dump zone. We're going to leave it active. I'm going to make a stockpile, a stone stockpile. It's going to go there, come out of it. We're going to click on it. We're going to press, oh, did that wrong. Click on it, press S. Go into the stone stockpile. Forbid everything except for cobaltite or what was the other one? Cinnabar. There we go. Add cinnabar. It's all good. And then, if I take a trip over here to this stockpile and say I for inventory, we can go down to the 12 pieces of cinnabar and say Shift D. Bosh, everything has been dumped. Everything is dumping, everything is going into a bin. Yeah? Is that how it's going to work? Fingers crossed, we'll see. We'll see. And then I can activate the orthoclase collection on this. I should really maybe try and do some dumping on the rhyolite pile, but maybe not. They're going in for the cinnabar. This is good. While that's taking place, let's go back here. Yeah, we're going to have a real cobaltite issue. Not cobaltite, sorry. Where's this stuff again? Orthoclase, that's it. We're going to have a real issue with this stuff clogging up this room. We definitely don't want to be channeling with it here, dropping it onto things. Yeah. What I'm trying to do, Marchesini, is create a two deep Z level system, so we can fill 2 Z levels and drop all that at once. So maybe it'll work. Maybe I'm having some kind of crazy dream, but we'll see. We'll see. Maybe I could try a 3rd Z level, but if we don't get any obsidian forming from this 2 Z level drop, I don't know. I think it's going to be a little bit of a tall order to go for 3. Does anybody know the actual science on magma to obsidian? Anyone know the numbers and the dealy-wheelie? Because I'm getting a little cheesed off with it not working fully. Hello, Stone. Welcome back to the stream. Thanks for joining us. 3, says Sellerberger. Of course, I have somehow strayed away from the conversational topic in my mind and now have no context for the meaning of 3. And so I'm a real head-scratching little boy. Mm-hmm. Oh, 3 levels. That makes sense. Go for 5. Dr. Phineas, come on. So we're looking for a real giga here. You guys aren't going to be happy unless camera's dead. Fuck. Well, at least it's got me in a thoughtful looking pose, right? There's this mic spiking again. Sorry. At least it's caught me in a cogitative moment rather than a moment of abject silliness, foolishness. I'll take my hand off my face now. Make myself look a little less thoughtful. Okay, so it's orthoclase, bismuthentonite, whatever, and granite. The granite shouldn't be too much of an issue. There's quite a bit of it. You know what? Why fuck around? That's what I say. Why fuck about? What we're going to do is we're going to come here. We're going to come over here. We're going to go straight into Z level 3. No fannying about whatsoever. Resolute non-fanniation. Just pure activated madness. That's what we're doing. Activated madness. That feels like a weird thing to say. It's like activated charcoal, but just billion years of insanity laid down on top of each other and left to compact. Sorry, millions, not billions. That's crazy talk. You fool scoundrel. Should we do it again? You know what I could do? Oh my god, I'm going to do it. I can feel a little tingle in the area between my balls and my bumhole. It feels like a sign. Let's go for it. Let me get the old GUI stamper out, if no one minds. I shouldn't talk about my balls and then start talking about the GUI stamper. It sounds wrong. Here it is. Here's the GUI stamper. If I go back over to the fortress here, we can take this up there. We can click like that. We can go along thusly. And now we have this bad boy. So that's the third Z level. Fourth, fifth, 6. Shall we? 7? 8? 9? 10? Oh my. This is total insanity. Okay, so we're doing 10... Oops, what's going on here? Oh, I know what we're doing. Escape, there we go. Let's remove all this guff. Oh, it's not actually something that needs removing, it's just got dirt on it, that's fine. Okay, we're going to dig multiple massive... Oh god, not that high. Multiple massive chambers above this room here. So we better get cracking on moving all that orthoclase. We'll see how it works up. I knew it was the perineum, but there are so many more beautiful words for it. The bass, for example. Twixt the balls and the arse lay the bass. Or, because perineum sounds like, I don't know, every time I hear that word, I just imagine Ozzy Osbourne going, perineum, singing about a wheelchair-bound lawyer. Which is a weird thing to think, and it doesn't make me feel good. It makes me feel a little bit weird, if I'm honest. Okay, where were we? Scrapers. yes, that would also be a correct portmanteization of those parts. You have to have at least one Z level of empty air above the lava in order to make obsidian, which is the only real restriction. Okay. Dehydrated butcher. Not good. I don't like the idea of having a dehydrated butcher. Pet! What have you done to me, pet? Okay, so granite and orthoclase. These are the materials we seek to remove from our cisterns column. So, if I go down here, back to the stone area, it looks like we've done a sterling job with the cinnabar, which should all be here. Fantastic. So, I'm going to click there, close that, press I. We're going to deactivate the cinnabar stockpile, and then immediately I'm going to bang one right here. Look at that, active. It's a dump zone. What could this possibly be for? We all know it's for the fucking orthoclase. Oh no, not the orthoclase, sorry, the cobaltite. Entirely different. Very sorry for misleading there. How rude of me. How terribly rude. Let's click here. Let's say I want just the old cobaltite, please. No cobalt loose for me, thank you very much. Just cobaltite. There it is. It'll be all cobaltite on the night. And then we click on here. We say, please, if you wouldn't mind, dump that cobaltite. And, they'll get on top of it as quick as they can, which will be lovely. Now, we also need to say DBC and reclaim all of the tat and nonsense that they've popped into these stockpiles. There we go. Very good. And if there's anything that's not supposed to be there, they will presumably haul it away. Haul it away. Biffin's Bridge. Now there's. I bet that's what Frodo calls it. Or Samwise. Mr. Frodo, Gollum tried to touch me on Biffin's Bridge again. Help! I don't know. Maybe he had an unhealthy ring fixation, but I'm not sure. Goblins. Goblins might do it, but with a sharp implement. Gollum, however, poor old Smeagol. Poor old Smeagol. Shall I attempt to fix the camera? While they flood to move that cobaltite, let's try and fix the camera. I'm going to go over to the camera screen here. See that little lump of blue tack on the light switch? It's very handy having it on a light switch. You never lose it. Let me just go to the webcam here. We're going to deactivate it. We're going to reactivate it. Hey, success. Back to Dwarf Fortress we go. So, what's happened here? Why has the game decided to pause? Damp stone. Well, actually, I think you'll find that's not a problem. Let's get, excuse me, digging it all out. If you thought warm stone notifications were bad, just you wait. Just you wait till those damp stone notifications start flooding in. Ah, dear. Looks like there's going to be some microcline to collect as well. Okay. So we're going to start by collecting the granite. It's not a huge amount, which is probably the... Oh, wait a minute. What's all this here? That's quartzite. That's schist. And that's schist. Okay, so we've got some dumping to do for quartzite and schist. But first, if I come in here, we'll check what it's asking for. What are you trying to collect in here? What are you trying to do? Because you're not calling up quartzite anymore, are you? Or cobaltite. It is looking for schist. Okay, I'm going to say granite, please. I need some new worktops. I want a ton of granite. Where is it? Where's granite? There's granite. Bang! There we go. And that should spawn many, many jobs that people will use wheelbarrows to achieve. Won't that be lovely? Won't it be lovely? Won't it be wonderful? There we go. Stone with a lovely little dwarven emote there. The camera didn't fix itself, Dr. Phineas. I went and stuck my finger up its bottom and it jumped into life. Much like most animals. Just ask Steve Owen, he knows. No, he knew. He knew. Magic E. Sorry. I know a lot of the viewership here is about of an age of me, and some of you may remember a children's programme, which I think was from the 80s, possibly from the 70s, recycled in the 80s. I'm not sure. And it was called, and I may be getting this slightly wrong, but I think it was called something like Chocky, but it wasn't anything to do with chocolate. It was something to do with an alien child. Does anyone remember Chocky? Am I the only person who remembers that? I mean, I could just Google it, but I feel like if I Google Chocky, it's going to show me pictures of chocolate, right? Fuck it, I'm going to do it now while we wait for all these lumps of stone to be hauled up. I'm going to do it. Someone said something in chat, which is probably going to negate the need to do this this search. Chocky with 2 Ks. Nah, it's all about... Oh, no! It is a thing, 1984. Chocky is a 1984 children's 6-part television drama based on the 1968 novel of the same name by John Wyndham. It was first broadcast on ITV in the United Kingdom from the 9th of January to the 13th of February 1984. 2 6-part sequels, Chocky's Children and Chocky's Challenge, were later produced. Well, there we go. The cover of Chocky looks very much like the cover of Alien, just in case you're wondering why it's stuck in my mind forever. Hello, Rough Rippers. Welcome back. Greetings to you too. And hello, Kerbanog. The schist has not yet hit the fan. The schist has merely been piled neatly into a quantum stockpile. But, you know, things may yet develop. We may end up with some schist on the fan. I saw parts of Chocky on Swedish television in the 80s. So there we go. It made it abroad. It made it into international television markets. I must admit, I don't think I saw many Swedish television programmes as a child. Well, then again, maybe did I know that? Because they would have been dubbed. The one piece of television that I know was definitely produced in a foreign country because of the lip sync on the dubbing was a sort of a morality tale about a kid who sells his laugh, I think to the devil, if not to some weird supernatural entity, in order to win every gamble he ever puts. I mean, it's really weird. The kid becomes like a millionaire gambling but can never laugh or smile again. Very strange, but it was definitely from another country. I'm from the visuals suspecting somewhere in the south of Europe. Probably not a Swedish production, but if anyone remembers that, I could well do with remembering the name. Which is not going to come naturally. My brain is not what you would call a steel memory trap. Far from it. Far from it. More of a sort of spongy memory dauber. It reaches for the memories with its spongy fingers and goes, and because there's no real bones in those intellectual fingers, they sort of just fold backwards and wipe whatever moisture the thought sponges have absorbed all over the thing. And what the fuck am I talking about? I'm doing it again. I might have to call my doctor. Tim Thurler. Is that it? Is that it? That'd be good for me. I rarely smile now, but I'm very lucky. Yeah, swap your rarely used smile for a bit of luck. That would be an interesting way to go. I mean, if he had just swapped his laugh and his... if it was his ability to feel happiness, not ideal. Not ideal. But if he has literally just swapped his laugh and his smile for obscene wealth, then you know what? I'm not gonna really go too hard on him for that choice. I'm not going to say, sir, I feel like you may have made the wrong moral decision. That's not going to be my take. It's going to be like, well, you do you. You won't be having any more giggles, but maybe, just maybe, that's not what's important for you. Maybe you don't care about giggles. Much in the same way I'm not a huge fan of hugs and cuddles. Nothing makes my blood both boil and chill at the same time more than relative strangers coming in for a hug. Give me a cuddle. No, thank you. You're not a blood relative or my girlfriend, so that's not happening. Get out of here. What about huggles? Huggles? No. I will huggle my girlfriend, and I will hug my children. And I'll give my mumsy and dadsy a little cuddle every now and again. But that's about as far as my cuddling goes. I take a very dim view on people who try and embrace you on the first time they meet you. That's going in the you're in trouble box. That's going in my back pocket as a little note saying, don't trust this motherfucker. They're too handsy. They're trying to get something out of you. They're trying to squeeze you like a tube of toothpaste and make something pop out of your mouth. I mean, not in a literal sense. That would be a sure sign of psychosis if that was my literal thought process, but in a metaphorical sense. It makes me deeply uncomfortable. I'm like, you don't fucking know me. Why are you trying to touch me? Get the hell out of here. Which I recognise is not a universal thing. It's not a universal sentiment held by all, but very, very strongly held sentiment by myself. Chuggle the beer. Oh my God, I can't chuggle all of it. I need to make it last. It's the only one I've got left. I'd be really uncomfortable here in Brazil. People hug a lot. I would also be very warm, I feel. I think like Brazil might be one of those countries that's a little bit too warm for my tastes. I don't fare well in the heat at all. I fare very well in the cold, but when it gets to hot countries, I went to Cyprus once, and on the final day we were there, it got to 40 degrees C, and that was... I was just, oh God. Internally, I was in a blazing rage. I couldn't control myself. But luckily, the heat was so oppressive that I couldn't move either. So there we go. Lovely. Drinking Chimay Kerbenog. Heavens above, that stuff's potent. Pokey stuff. Very strong booze. Here's me spiking the mic again. I've tasted that before, that Belgian stuff. It's not terrible, but I couldn't, I could have a little sip of it. But, excuse me. It's a little too strong for my delicate sensibilities. Excuse me. Boom. Sorry, I was just really catching up with chat there while for some reason deciding to produce a tuneless little ditty. Well done me. Congratulations. So we have got a stockpile for granite already. Hopefully that's not all of it, right? There's got to be more granite than that. Damn it, granite collected all. God damn it, I've got to stop this. No, look, there's more granite right there. This has yet to be collected, so that's fine. The miners are also exposing more granite here, so I feel like there's going to be an extensive hot moment where they're just collecting granite after granite after granite, and then we'll move to the orthoclase, and that'll be tickety-boo. Then some microcline, because Lord knows how we love to collect that micro. She's got eyes of microcline. If they think of digging... No, there's no way I'm getting a decent piece of music out of that. At first it seemed like it had legs. I saw it and I thought, no, this could be done. This could be done. I could do a little Axl Rose impression. I could just talk about how microcline is blue and so are the eyes in that song. Oh, this is going to be streamed gold. I'm going to absolutely smash a couple of minutes easily. And then as soon as I started, that little feeling in the pit of my stomach went, this isn't what you do actually well, scoundrel. This isn't actually something you're going to do well. This is something that you fooled yourself about. And I was like, oh, that's a very good point, me. Why the fuck didn't you say something earlier? And Then me said, would you have listened? And I looked at my feet and said, no. Anyway, that was a little weird tangent, wasn't it? It's a little weird tangent. Not long enough to get all this granite collected and all this stuff dug out, but hey-ho. Hey-ho. It's not the way to do it. The red is only 7%. Oh, that's a little bit strong for my taste. Although there's a beer that I like at Sainsbury's, which is strong. It's about 8 or 9%, I think. It's called Old Tom. Comes in a smaller bottle than most of the other beers. But if you've got yourself a nice heavy roast dinner, nice bit of roast beef, roast potatoes, bit of horseradish on the beef. Oh, God. Now that is a beer you can drink, a strong beer that I can drink, but I couldn't drink more than 1 or 2 bottles a night. And I'm not a compulsive drinker in the sense of getting drunk and drinking alcohol. I just drink, if you give me any fluid and say, here, drink this, I'll be like, yes. And I have very little in the way of portion control when it comes to food and drink. Like, if you give me a packet of something, I am like, well, this must be the portion size, and I just eat it. Including if you give me a bag full of fun-sized bags of Maltesers, which this was discovered this Halloween. Managed to completely destroy those. But hey, it's fine. I'm a fat guy now. That's what I do. I eat. No rough repairs. Someone linked me to a recording of Brian Blessed doing Gotrek for a Warhammer audiobook. I've heard some of that audiobook. It was he's got a powerful voice still. And claims he's going to Mars, which I find a little bit suspect. I'm not entirely sure he's actually done the homework on that one. I feel that's more of a dream voiced rather than an actual fact of something that's going to happen. His Richard Herring episode's pretty good. I mean, it basically revolves around Richard Herring sitting there listening to him talk, but that's all good. Oh, sorry, yes, rough repairs. The obsidian. What has happened is we got all the drawbridges in, and we filled the room up, and we opened them up, and sploosh, it wasn't adequate. It was entirely inadequate. So I'm going for more Z levels of stored water. That's the idea. That's the dream. As you can see, we have this stuff that came from that initial array of floodgates, but everything else that comes is just not got the flow through. We have got all this area here down to 2s and 3s in depth, magma-wise, but still not quite enough water coming through to actually turn it into obsidian, which is a shame. But hey, we're going to try. We're going to go. I'm going all out. As you can see, I've had to add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 Z levels to this little enterprise, which, fingers crossed, will work wonders. That's the hope. That is my hope. That is my dream. Oh man, that's the beauty of Brian Blessed, though. I feel like he just gets into things. He goes for it. No half measures. Just full pint glasses smashed over your head. Wanted to ask you a blender, the software question. I remember you making a sword. You did a fun thing with the handle, and I was wondering where you learned to do that. You mean the binding on the thing? I discovered that it's part of one of the basic add-ons that you can enable, and it's like the add curve or more curves or something, and it's got a thing in there called the knot generator, and I spent ages fucking around with it trying to get it to do something, and then kind of figured out how to do a curve wrapped around the surface, which is not as easy as you would hope it would be. And unfortunately, I didn't find any good training material about it. I just had to sort of blunder my way through doing it. So maybe next time, if you remember, next time I do some Blender, I can actually show you the steps I took to do it without having to flounder for ages and ages. But, hopefully you'll find it before that comes around, because as we all know, I'm not what you would call a frequent streamer of Blender, much as I do enjoy it. Sometimes I sit there and I'm on Blender and I'm thinking, I could just stream this. But it feels like cheating. It feels like I'm kind of just killing two birds with one stone, learning to use Blender and also streaming at the same time. It's too much. It's too many wins. guilt would crush me. But yeah, it's a curve thing. It's called knots or something. To be honest, I could just open up Blender, couldn't I? Maybe at the end of the stream. Maybe I'll get a little bit saucy at the end of the stream and we'll switch into Blender to make an artifact or something. Ooh, imagine. Imagine. Oh look, some more Cobaltite. Am I still collecting that? I think I've turned off the collection of Cobaltite, but that's fine. Such a small amount. Being somewhat forced to make a sword in 3D, Blender is somewhat agitating to figure everything out. Yeah, I would agree. It's a bit of a learning curve, but to be honest, if you're willing to put in the time to learn Dwarf Fortress, I don't feel like Blender's going to put up a sustained resistance to your attempts to master it. You know? I feel like if you've got the patience to learn a bit of Dwarf Fortress, then you've got the patience to become a passable 3D artist. And I am just barely a passable 3D artist. But it is a lot of fun. It is a lot of fun. I mean, obviously that's me talking. That's my kind of fun. You may not find it anywhere near as much fun as I do, but I really do. I'd kind of like to do, make a game or something. Do a little fun project where people just take their time, no one's taking it too seriously, and cobble something together for funsies. But you know what? It's difficult. It's you're basically asking people to work for free when you do that. But who knows? Maybe some people just want to do it for fun. Devs just wanna have fun. Oh, devs just wanna have all they really wanna have. Sorry, it's just getting around the little copyright strike moment there. All I can make in Blender is a blob. It's not the worst thing to be able to make, rough repairs. And maybe there will be some kind of blob-based news, and your skills will be much sought after by the illustration community. They'll be like, where are we going to get all these 3D models of blobs that we need? And you'll be able to say, actually, I think I find this is my speciality. I don't know why you talk like that, but just for the sake of the moment, the little thing I'm doing here, we'll assume that is how you talk. And then the person who was talking for some reason in an American accent will be like, God damn it, you're just the guy we need. And they'll hire you on the spot. Be good. Be good, maybe. I don't know. That's why I do not learn DF, and I watch a fun streamer who knows how to play. Well, I suppose there is that. Blender also has that aspect covered, though, because there are so many tutorials and little videos that explain how to do stuff that there's a whole ecosystem on YouTube of Blender stuff that you can just sit and watch people making interesting things. There's a guy called Grant Abbott who does tutorial videos, and he's got his whole multiple hour long series of videos where he just sits down on a single project and pootles through it, answering people's questions. It's very therapeutic to watch. I like it. And once you start to understand how things work, you can learn just by watching someone do stuff, even in a sped up time lapse. You've missed nothing, Sal, other than me just deciding that if we're going to try the whole adding Z levels to the water tank to try and douse the obsidian, then we may as well just go hog wild and do 9 extra Z levels. Why not? You see? But that's really the only thing that's happened. Nothing else. Don't worry. Don't worry. By the way, the 1980s Blob movie is incredible if anyone hasn't seen it. If you haven't seen that version of the Blob, it is definitely worth a look. I'm doing it for a game friends are making, but being asked, are you ready to treat this like a job when I'm not given direction or being paid kind of seems like it's not going to be fun. Yeah, realistically, a game project like that that's being done for funsies, just to kind of learn the process, is ideally done without pressure. Mind you, doing anything with me that has no pressure involved is going to be an epically glacial process. I mean, I directed a music video once, and that took a very long time to come to fruition. I had to be watched by an angry French skinhead in order to get it finished. He was a lovely man, by the way. Don't let me put you off with my crass descriptions. Where were we? Ian Hubert's tutorials are amazing. The stuff he makes, because what I love about Ian Hubert's stuff is he just shows you that it is, even the good stuff on a certain level is just kind of cobbled together. Like, obviously there are pieces that are labours of intense love that have been delicately touched up over courses of months. But he shows that, like, sometimes once you've figured out the process, you can bang something out super quick that looks pretty fucking good. Like CG Matter as well, his tutorials, and what's his other name? Default Cube. His tutorials are really good. If sometimes a little bit samey, he does do a lot of stuff based on tracking. These people have things planned for the next 3 years. 3 of us, are they going to attempt a Kickstarter? You know what? I feel like for your first game, not that this is no way me telling you what you and your mates should be doing, but if you want to do that and make a game, just sit down and make the basic bones of the game, and once you've finished that, once you can play it, and it needs like a graphical skin and some spit and polish, that's when you go for the Kickstarter, right? That's when you go for the Kickstarter, I think. Well, I say to you, though scope creep and enormous scopes in games can be the bane of development and can lead to a cancellation or the end of a game's production, that's the fault of capitalism. It's not the fault of the dreams that are being had by the artists. And if you're not going to fucking shoot for the moon with your rocket, then what are you doing? What are you going to shoot for? Shoot for the moon, god damn it! Build Star Citizen, because my god, if that game is ever half as good as they're hoping it's going to be, or they're making out it's intended to be, then I'm going to turn my bollocks inside out in excitement over the thing. It's going to be fantastic. Obviously, not a first-timer noob project, but you get the principle. Anyway, a vile force of darkness has arrived. What kind of vile force of darkness are we talking? I'm seeing gobos. I'm seeing trolls. It's all very much of a muchness. I think the sensible option here is to close the gates and basically ignore them. However, we may have dwarves on the surface. We may have dwarves on the surface. Let's have a little look, see if we can spot any. Unfortunately, the logs that are everywhere, causing an intense amount of flashing, are kind of distracting, making it difficult to see if we have any little lads or lasses on the surface. Where are you, my dwarves? Reveal yourselves so I may save you. There's one, look. Having a little fuck about on the mountainsides. What's all this about? Are you telling me that I need to send out some kind of alert, some kind of alarm to call you back into the fortress to prevent your untimely demise? Is that what you're demanding there, my little dwarven fellow? Oh, thank God the traders have gone. Let's do it. Military, alert, borrow one. That's the one we want, isn't it? Well, if it's not, once everybody's in, we'll just slam the gates on them and it'll be fine. Okay, there's one of them going in. Come on, farmer guy. Into the gates, please. Of course, if it turns out the force is like in the 20s or something and not an enormous group of people after all, then, well, we might just let our traps have a go with them. But for now, let's at least begin the... It's not an evacuation protocol, is it? We're pulling everybody indoors. We're getting everybody inside. So is it an invacuation? A revacuation? A devacuation? What are we doing here? What exactly is the correct way to refer to this process? Sure, there's some kind of emergency, some kind of alarm, but really, we need to determine the evacuation status. That's what's important. I'm just not very hopeful about this anime-esque open-world RPG with a team of 3 people where there's a lot of things we don't know. I know I'm ranting now, but yeah, bad, not good. Ah, well. Invacuation is the correct term. Nice. I got something right. And it feels damn good. Feels fine. Yeah, maybe an MMO open-world thing is a little bit much. Although, that said... This dwarf fortress has technically a big open world. I mean, procedural generation is fun. I don't know if anyone's seen this. There's a blog I read. No one's posted to it for a little while, but I'm going to have a quick Scooch and see if I can find it just to recommend to people, because it is really quite good. What's it called? Talks about a voxel-based engine this guy's been developing for a while. Oh, Atom Montage is pretty good as well, but that's more about volume sampling than what I'm looking at here. Where is it? Procedural World, I think it's called. procworld.blogspot.com. Let me put that in chat for people if they want to read that. A fun little development blog. And what else? Sorry, if I'm getting too nerdy for some of you, I apologise, but do remember, you're in a Dwarf Fortress stream, so I don't know exactly what the fuck you're expecting. Oh, this is too niche for me. I couldn't possibly put up with something this narrow-focused. I'm going to go back to watching this game called Dwarf Fortress, which is possibly the most niche thing on Twitch. Let's find that Atom Montage one as well, because that's fun. That's a fun one. I mean, it's not vital that you know any of these things, but I want to put the thing in there. Yeah, I'm a nerd. So damn what? So damn what? I could be as nerdy as I bloody well please. Hey. Don't know why I put that voice on, but I did, so now I can live with it. Oh, fuck! We're in the middle of a siege! I distracted myself. What a fool! Let's take a little look at the current state of the invasion. We've got 49 enemies, which is not insurmountable odds. Is it overwhelming? I don't know if it is. Is it underwhelming? Equally, I don't know if it is. Could it be just a neutral whelming? Like a perpendicular whelm, rather than something that goes over or under. Something that just goes at 90 degrees to it? Maybe it could just go all the way around. It could just all the way across it. Transwhelming. Or difficult. Why do I get so easily stuck in these little word problems? Let's zoom to this goblin spearman and see where they are. Snamoz Wanzalak. Let's have a little look. Oh, look, here they come. Over the edge of the mountain. Here we go round the mountain, singing our very own song. Does everyone remember that? Oh, God, do you remember the little magazines that would come with a cassette tape that had the stories on for the magazines? I used to get those for long car trips when I was a kid. Fucking loved it. I think I've even spoken about one in particular before. There was like a lava world, and there were these white blobby things with pointy poisonous horns that were working. No, let's not get distracted. Let's not start talking about late 80s magazines on tape. That's going to be a distraction. That's something that's not worth getting too deeply into. I'm going to pull the lever now. I think the alert has had its time. Although, do I want to keep my eyes on the lever and maybe pull it once some gobbos are on it? Is that how we want to play? Oh, I nearly pulled the wrong lever again. That would have been foolhardy. Very foolhardy indeed. Okay. The order's in for the lever to be pulled. Hopefully, it shall be done before the gobbos arrive. I'm going to assume everybody's indoors. I could be wrong. It's possible that some stragglers are still dilly-dallying, if not shilly-shallying and filly-fallying, out on the surface, but we'll see. We'll see. Hopefully the goblins will take a while to get down here and the gates will close and they won't be there while the vomit's still wet on the surface. There we go. There we go. I don't know why I was concerned about the goblins coming across wet vomit. It was some kind. I was trying to make some kind of point about the passage of time and how they'll be ages and it'll have all basically blown over once they get down here, which it has. But I ended up just making some weird, obtuse, arcane comment about vomit, which is not really what you want. Well, maybe it is what you want. Maybe one of you at least is now currently reaching into their undergarments with a lewd look on their face, going,
now the vomit talk has started. I'll just grab my cup and there we go.
Maybe? No, that sounds a bit too much, doesn't it? That seems like I've taken something I did and discovered it was an error, and then just sort of not even doubled down, kind of tripled down, almost squared down. I think it feels like there's some kind of exponential power going on here. Ooh, we've got 23 idlers and an ass load of granite. Let's see if we can get that granite shifted. This is a quartzite stockpile. This is a schist stockpile. This is a pile for microcline, rhyolite. Question mark? Cinnabar. Is there just one lump of obsidian in that pile? Fuck off. Oh, here's a granite stockpile. This is the one. So we go there, press I, we turn it on, activate. Fantastic. We also need to click on the cobalt-type one, I believe, and deactivate the dumping there. Deactivate my dumping, please. It's coming in to be a problem. No, stop it. Again. I was about to try and launch into an improvised song about somebody who can't stop shitting. And then, far too late, I'd already begun the song. I realised, no, you're doing it again. You're sabotaging your channel growth again by making light of the horrific nature of diarrhea and making songs about it. That's not good. It's not good. People aren't going to like it. Every time you sing, what I've got to do is got to remember. I've got to picture it in my mind. Every time I'm going to sing a song about poop, I have to imagine me and my audience being sprayed with poo, and then it will put me off. I'm imagining it right now. I probably won't have a boner for months. It's disgusting. Oh, the smell in my nose. Anyway, let's go and look at chat, and hopefully they will inspire me with something less scatological, something less grim. Another good one that is fairly recent is Waveform Collapse Procedural Generation. Is that running? Have they actually got a game running on a quantum computer? Is that what's happened there? Because that sounds interesting. That sounds intriguing. That sounds very exciting. Are you sure all of your cage traps are loaded? Whelmed. I suppose whelmed without any superlatives probably is what I was looking for, Harold. You're probably right. Going from the green place to the pink place in one jump. The green place? The green place? That's very different. I never go to the green place immediately before a stream. I usually wait until afterwards. Well, I mean, don't worry, Sal. The dark place will come along at some point this stream. No doubt. There will be some kind of moment where my mind will wander to something I saw on the History Channel. Oh, speaking of which, Curse of Oak Island is happening this year. I'm most excited. 11th of November. Oh, my favourite TV programme. It's good. It's good. Bad North used it for level gen. I've not played Bad North. I've seen it sitting there on the Xbox service, but I never actually picked it up and used it. Keep getting errors today. In what are we talking about here? Errors in your own mind? Are you having a brain meltdown? Or are we talking about errors in some sort of shop-based process? You're trying to beat things out of the store and it's going, no, fuck you, this isn't stuff, this is stuff staying in the shop. Could be. Did I set the granite to dumping? I think I did. We can give it a minute. We still have a lot of idlers though. What's all this about? Surely there's plenty of granite here to be hauled, and yet the idlers give 0 fucks. Mind you, we are in 11 frames a second. That would probably explain a lot of it. The gobbo's on the surface. Actually, now that I think about it, the cage traps are loaded. It's just they're covered in vomit. And a vomit-covered cage trap is the same colour in this texture pack as an unloaded cage trap. So, for example, we click here, and if I press Control M, is that what I do? No. Question mark. All right, I'm not entirely sure that they are loaded, but I'm willing to take that risk. Yes, the military alert should be off. That is correct. Well done, Sal. You get the special badge for being the first one to notice. Well done. Congratulations. Drawing a lot of goblins. Well, if you're looking for something Blender-wise to get involved in, November is known in the community as Nodevember. So maybe try giving some some node-based shading a go, because that's always fun. There's a guy called Erindale who made some spectacular tutorials that really opened my mind up to coordinate spaces and how you can twist both the texture and the coordinate space that's being used to project it onto the surface. Fantastic stuff. Truly fantastic. And His Discord's pretty good for getting questions answered as well, so well worth it. Oh, excuse me. Oh no, my beer's nearly run out. This is no good. What time is it? 1:30? Bloody hell, we're barely halfway through. Not ideal. Not ideal at all. Should have bought another one. Never mind. Well, I did actually buy another one, but I drank it yesterday, which was potentially foolish of me. Potentially foolish. Maybe in a minute. I'm just going to get a few more frames done in this game. Let the game tick over for a little bit longer, and then I'll take a wee break. A literal wee break. Not just Scottish small, but also urinary in nature. The granite's it's still around. It's not like we can turn off the granite collection orders. Oh, wait, this is cryolite. That's granite. That's fine. That's fine. What's cryolite? Sounds cold. Sounds like some kind of vegetable oil-based spread that you fry with. That's what it sounds like to me. Whoa, whoa, cryolite. Do 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 do. There's a hark back to a bygone age of advertising. Pitch blend. Isn't that kind of just like tar? Like a tarry, lumpy substance? Maybe, maybe not. Fucking hell, they're taking their sweet time, aren't they? Mind you, this room's nearly done. How much? Granite, 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 granite. So we've got 4 pieces of granite, and once they're gone, naught but orthoclase, which is good. What we could do is make a dumping order that puts the orthoclase in here nice and quickly, and then sort of just finish dealing with this room, because it would be nice to start channeling out the floors. Who's leaving their socks down here? Cheeky fuckers. Ah, dear. Oh, hello. Oh, of course, it's he doesn't want to dig. It's wet out here. That's what the problem is. It's damp. Should I even bother with this floor? Because the damp notifications are going to be a royal pain in the arse. Yeah, here we go. Look, they've done it again. I'll just let them do these couple of bits and bobs, and then we'll stop redesignating, because this is unnecessary. It's too much. 8 Z levels will do. Can we dig out these last little bits? Oh, it's not all gonna trigger it, is it? Apparently, only part of it is damp. Pitch blend is uranium oxide. Holy shit. Interesting. Let's take a little Google of that then. Let's see what pitch blend looks like. Hold on. Opening up a new tab. Pitchblende. Pitch blonde. And, ooh, very angular edges. It does look like a sort of bituminous, tarry substance, but it's not. Uranite, formerly pitchblende, is a radioactive uranium-rich mineral and ore with a chemical composition that is largely UO2, but due to oxidation, the mineral typically contains variable proportions of U3O8. Additionally, due to radioactive decay, the ore also contains oxides of lead and trace amounts of helium. Helium! Yay! Amazing stuff. And, of course, a little bit of Google pronunciation guide.
Pitch blend. Pitch blend.
Pitch blend. Poor old, that makes me think of poor old Sean Connery, who popped his clogs recently. And if I can bring to mind a quote, what did he say? Oh, that was it. Sometimes you just got to smack the bitch. That was the quote of his that I remember most. I was going to say most fondly, and then realised I don't really remember that fondly. That was one of the more bad things he said. But still. The man had an opinion. And not everybody has an opinion? No, wait, that's not true. Everybody has opinions. Ah, dear. Poor old wife slapping Sean Connery. I know. Not poor. Like the world's most famous Spanish guy. Ah, dear. Zardoz. Everyone remember Zardoz? Probably at his peak there. In his little firecracker bandolier and red pants combo. Looking good. What was that one where he was in the Amazon with a ponytail? Medicine Man. I like that film. I don't know why, but I did. I enjoyed it. Oh, this is taking forever. Come on, guys. Stop digging out the bloody stone. There we go. That'll do it. That'll do it. We'll leave this level. Although maybe we'll do some ore mining later. What's this material? Silver, you say? Oh. Please carry on. Carry on my silver nugget collection. Okay, that doesn't work. I've really got to stop with the music. It's getting to be a problem. It's getting to be a problem. And how long can I nurse out this inch of beer I've got left at the bottom of the bottle? It's true. It's true. Oh god, I was about to go careening off into the dark place there. My goodness, my goodness. At least I didn't just sort of grab hold of Kevin Spacey as someone to make jokes about and then just fling myself into the abyss. Could have been worse. Could have been a lot worse. Also, hello Uruzrun, welcome back. Thanks for joining us. As you can see, we're currently staring at a room full of lumps of stone. No real reason for it, it's just a kind of group activity that we started engaging in. I'm digging out a massive multi-Z level water cistern in order to attempt to douse some of this magma we've got going on down here, which is proving to be an enormous pain in the poo pipe. It's a pain in the bum, and it's not very fun. It's a massive pain in the bum, and it's not very fun for me. And again, once again, he launches into the ill-advised musical stylings. Terrible. I am sipping on Marston's EPA, English Pale Ale, distinguished by the fact that it is only £1 a bottle, and that is the sole reason I have been buying it. So, it's not terrible beer, but, it tastes £1 a bottle. But I could slam one in out of the fridge quite easily. And it's 3.6%, which is unusually low for beer you can buy in a UK supermarket. I do like a low alcohol beer. As I was saying earlier on, I don't think I quite finished the thought. I'm very prone to just drinking large quantities of stuff, so low alcohol works for me quite well because I can slam 10 cans of 2% beer and it's not a problem. Whereas if they had been 5% beer, I would still have drunk them at the same pace, but of course be paralytic. I remember when I visited mates in the UK in 2008, we bought a case of 30 Carlsberg for cheap. Yes, that would be fairly cheap. Carlsberg is a classic cheap lager in the UK. Heineken, Hofmeister. I used to drink a lot of Hofmeister. Carlsberg, though, you can get really cheap. I mean, I prefer an ale. If I'm splashing out, if I'm going crazy, I'll get myself a nice bottle of ale, or maybe even I'll get myself a bottle of apricot brandy. Ooh, such decadence. But, for a weekend, I wasn't gonna, but then I sort of caved in. I was walking around the Sainsbury's with my daughter, and I just thought, fuck it, why not? A couple of bottles of beer. Treat yourself. All gone. There we go. Treat concluded. I'm a fan of reds and brown ale. I like Newcastle, but I hear they're different here in the US than what's available in the UK. Yes, probably. I'm unaware. I used to drink a lot of Newcastle brown ale. I have done some... Okay, nobody's eating dinner? Doesn't matter. I'm still going to say it. I've done some spectacular vomits off of the back of Newcastle brown ale. It has to be said. I filled every pocket on a set of khakis once whilst... well, let's use the word dancing, even though what I was doing I don't think could strictly be interpreted as a dance form. It was more of a hectic jerking to metal music, or punk, whatever it was happening at the time. And yeah, I got every single pocket of my trousers filled up. Terrible. Luckily I had some chips on hand to refill the hole that had been left and get myself back out there without my trousers. Which, is one of the pleasures, one of the little bonuses you get when you run the club night. You can just dance in your pants if you want. It's all good. Where was I? Oh yes, I was shifting large quantities of stone. I tell you what I find strange is that in America apparently Stella Artois is like a premium classy beer. And in the UK we literally call it wife beater. It's like the least classy drink you could possibly have. It's like, I'm gonna pull on my string vest and the hanky on my head, pull on my hobnail boots and start getting tanked up on wife beater. Is it? Oh, I thought I'd heard, Pet Moo, welcome to the stream, thanks for joining us, that Stella was treated as some kind of premium special stuff. I didn't realise. Fancy Budweiser. I mean, how fancy can you make a Budweiser? I mean, when I bought these beers, I literally got a Sainsbury's voucher that came through saying, we'll give you some club card points if you drink Budweiser. And I immediately sought out the nearest employee of the Sainsbury's Corporation and left a resounding handprint on their cheek saying, "Madam, how bloody dare you? Please, restrain your corporation. Stop them from insisting I do such dirty things." That's not entirely true. I would never slap an employee of the Sainsbury's Corporation as a result of their employment by the Sainsbury's Corporation. You know, maybe, who knows? Maybe circumstances would arise where the Venn diagram of people employed by Sainsbury's and people that I have slapped somehow crosses over. But, it's going to be a coincidence. It's a case of correlation, not causation. That's what I would say. It's marketed as high-end, but it's towards idiots. Well, theoretically, as I understand it, most marketing is generally pitched at the idiot. They don't tend to go for, I think we need the smartest possible people to believe what we're pitching here. That doesn't happen very often. Then again, maybe I'm a cynical monster and I should be exterminated with the boot of a giant's heel. Wait, no, the heel of a giant's boot. You can't get exterminated by the boot of a heel. That's insane. Very silly. As we say in France, c'est dégueulasse. Dégueulasse? Dégueulasse, Carbonog? C'est dégueulasse? I'm not sure. My French pronunciation is not what you would call bon. It's more what you would call mal. C'est merde. Je suis désolé. Je ne parle pas français. Je ne parle pas français. There we go. That's the closest I can get to speaking French. A sincere apology for not being able to speak French. Stella the same way? Is Stella fancy in the same way ambassadors serve Ferrero Rocher? Imagine that. Imagine one of the ambassadors' receptions where he's just pouring out glasses of Stella and handing out chocolates. Welcome to the English what's it called? Consulate Diplomat Centre. I was about to call it a diplomat centre and then realised that was a truthful but clunky way of describing it. Or nerve centre of colonial spying. Call it that as well. They have been those in the past. Oh dear. This granite's taking forever to dig out and also haul up multiple flights of stairs. I'm very disappointed with the performance of my dwarves vis-a-vis said stone. Right, let's go down to the stone pile, see how it's doing. Is it full? Not by a long shot. But we could dump what's in there and just, keep the cycle going. Let's do it. Where's the granite? Here it is. Wait a darn moment. 50 granite and 16 granite. What is the difference between the two sets of granite? One's in a job. Okay. Are they being hauled to the depot? Is that what's happening? We won't fiddle with their active status at the moment. We'll just let that fly. Just for a second. Without the A at the end, it was pretty good. Let me try that one again. Dégueulasse. Dégueulasse. That's my best. C'est dégueulasse. That's my best. I'll try to remember it as it is Legolas. That'll work. Like I tried to remember merci beaucoup as thank you is a messy book. Thank you is a messy book. Which resulted in me speaking to Belgian people saying merci beaucoup, which obviously is not the correct way to pronounce it. Then again, I suppose I was learning French, and Belgian French is probably different enough from French anyway, right? I don't know. Messi Poodle. Isn't that what Sebulba says before little Annie Skywalker gets into the pod thing? Messi Poodle. Or maybe I'm misremembering. Maybe I'm wrong. Mercy buckets. Heavens above. Could I have a bucket of mercy, please, sir? A mercy bucket's what they put in a prison cell, isn't it? Just so people can do their dropsies without soiling their bedrooms. Bedrooms? Cells. That's the word. They have cells in hospitals. No, not hospitals. Prisons. Very different. Very different. Anyway, where were we? Getting a little bit distracted there, weren't we? That's okay, though. It's okay. I'm back on ball. I'm back on form. I'm ready to go again. Now, we have got a full Z level here, which has been done. So that's a good sign. If we pull that to close it off, that's going to prevent any more water from sloshing back out when we open the other areas. But, still got to get all this orthoclase out of here. I'm a bit annoyed that there's still granite. And mind you, we are still digging out a massive lump of it, so that kind of makes sense. Do I just go for the orthoclase? Got this last lump of granite to come out of here, and then maybe we can just set up an enormous orthoclase stockpile and have people go down here and grab it. It's not the end of the world if we have to wait, is it? I mean, it's not like we haven't been waiting. Then again, where am I going to make this stockpile? I mean, the only space I have is here, and that's not exactly going to make a huge difference in the quantity, is it? Or maybe we just say, don't just collect granite, now also collect orthoclase. Then again, they're both things that are increasing in quantity throughout the fortress, or throughout that dig site, so maybe that's not the best mode. Maybe that's not the sensiblest move. Sensiblest? I'm pretty sure that's not a correct statement. Let's have a little look. What are you collecting? You're still just collecting granite, right? Well, go on. Let's have a little crackle with a bit of the old what's it called? Cobaltite. That's the one, isn't it? No, Cobaltite's the blue one. What's this one called? It's not Cinnabar. Fart knockers. I can't remember. Orthoclase. That was that one. Let's get some orthoclase in there as well. We may as well mix it up a bit. We'll just keep dumping all the granite, and if it ends up full of orthoclase, we'll just dump some orthoclase instead. I'm fairly certain we have an orthoclase dump already in place, so it's not going to be a massive statistical? That's not the word I'm looking for. Logistical issue to try and get it changed over to Cinnabar, right? We'll see. We shall see. Belgian French is way closer to French than Canadian French, is it? Interesting. Because French is one of those colonial languages like English that sort of has been smeared all over the globe, isn't it? So I suppose there's tons of ways of... I mean, there's loads of different English accents, but I've never been fully stumped hearing anybody speak English. Even if they're not like a native speaker, I've always been able to understand it. But I don't know how that works. Are some languages more prone to mispronunciation? To badly formulated words? I feel like French is close enough to English that it has like most of the basic same rules about sort of, how close your accent is to the like core supposed pronunciation. What am I talking about? Poor old Robot in Progress's internet died after their last post, which was apparently... it's quite a while ago. Quite a while ago, when I was suggesting that you have a go at November. Yeah. A little bit of blendology. Why not? Goodness me, it's 10 to 2 in the morning. You know what? Maybe it is time for me to take a little break. And seeing as we're all sealed in here, nice and safe and sound, maybe I don't pause the game for my break? Maybe I just get up, go make myself a hot drink, and leave the game running in the background in the hope that if something bad happens, I will spot it as I walk past. It'll give us a little frisson of danger, I think. If I do that, you guys can watch it going, the fortress could collapse at any second, and get all excited while I'm sitting there going, I won't let this happen. I'll keep an eye on it, don't worry. Who knows? Right, how's this going? This isn't going to be a too bad room to clear out, but that is a lot of orthoclase, and they do not seem to be hauling it. They seem to be giving precisely 0 effort to the hauling of orthoclase. Then again, yikes. Multiple Z levels of it. That is a bit of an issue. We could start the channeling though, couldn't we? Let's not fanny around. Let's get these channels done. We're going to do them at priority 2. And we're going to start along the bottom here. Hee hee, I said bottom. Tee hee, tee hee. Bottom, bottom, bottom. Sorry, getting a little carried away there. If we do them like this, using the patented Salford Sal technique, we will be able to make sure that nobody falls down any nasty holes. That'd be good, wouldn't it? Now I know that's not perfect, every other square, but I'm working around the orthoclase. I want that collected rather than dumped into the magma. That's what I want. Hello, DeBerries. Welcome back. Thanks for joining us. In Brazil, we have some difficulty to understand Portuguese. Everything I know about Brazilian Portuguese I learned from Max Cavalera, which is to say, perhaps I do not have the greatest of educations regarding the language. You know, give it a go. Give it a go. Don't really know much Portuguese, though. That has to be said also. Mas hypnosis. I know that sepultura means grave. I know that much. I am not that ignorant, sir. Not at all. Let's get some more of these channels dug. I'll go down there nice and quickly. Welcome back, Ravelin. Thanks for joining us. Oh yes, I was going to take that break, wasn't I? Let us go to the stone stockpile and you can watch them hauling that. That'll be exciting, won't it? Oh, I bet you're positively tingling all over. Let's quickly order all of the granite removed. Where are you, granite? Let's do the granite in jobs as well, get all of it healed. Is there anything else that we can get dumped? Nope, everything's fine. So, with that in mind, if you will bear with me, just say 5, possibly 10 minutes, I'm going to leave this running. As I go past it, I'm going to keep unpausing it, and hopefully things will continue. What an idiot. Did you know that in Windows 10, if you grab a window, you click and then you move, and you absent-mindedly move the mouse left and right, it interprets that as you shaking the mouse and saying, oh, could you minimise everything for me, please, Windows? Could you minimise everything for me? As if, like, that's a good way to have that happen. Please don't do that, Windows. Please. Come on. Give me a break. Be sweet, be nice, be kind, be gentle, be lovely. Oh, I've done it again! Oh, what a fucking plum. Bear with me, let's get this sorted. There we go, let's maximise OBS, maximise Swirler. There we go, let's turn the camera off so you don't have to put up with me walking backwards and forwards out of frame during this break. And then I think we're good, right? We're good? Shall I pause Swirler and put a bit of sinister elements on? You know what? I have to go to the home screen for that, so I'm just going to leave you with Swirler for a bit. You know what, Ravelin? I'm not putting any ads on during the break. You know what? It's it's fine. I'm just going to leave it playing, and you guys can watch a little bit of Dwarf Fortress unfold in silence. Well, near silence. You got a bit of Kogana-san in the background, so you know it's not total silence. It's good. Oh man, I wish I couldn't minimise like that. It really annoyed me. Kerbenog says, if you look at the Irish, this is already starting a bit worrying, let's have a look, they have a different accent depending on their neighbourhood. In France we have like 5 different accents inside our country. That's interesting. I often wonder about accents among other countries, because I remember being taught that there was a difference between sort of Marseille French and Paris French, but never really given any examples of what that was. Just that there was a difference. There's a good foil Arms and Hogs sketch about Irish regional accents. Foil Arms and Hogs? I'm unfamiliar with the name. Intriguing. Anyway, let's not let this go on too long, because I'm actually so desperate for a piss that I'm sweating. So it's probably a good idea for me to mute my microphone. Thanks for watching up until now. I will be back in a bit. 5 minutes or so, as long as it takes to make a cup of tea and that kind of carry on. So maybe you guys want to go and make a cup of tea. Who knows? See you in a bit. Bye! And those of you watching the recording on YouTube, I'm going to stop recording. See you in the next one. Bye!